Welcome to Life Science Solutions. I'm your host, Chris Adkins. Today, we're exploring how artificial intelligence is reshaping the future of drug discovery and cancer treatment. My guest is Marcel Frenkel, CEO and co-founder of 1063 Therapeutics, a company at the cutting edge of using AI to tackle some of the toughest challenges in drug discovery and specifically oncology. From a practical perspective, what are you guys doing? Right?
Yeah,
What's the? I think you guys call it the Beyond platform.
The Beyond
right?
platform. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what is Beyond doing, right? So the way that we see it, drug discovery has two problems. The first problem is, can you find the right solution? Mm-hmm. Right. So let me kind of put this in perspective for everybody. So, the name 1063 is actually 10 to the power of 63.
Yep.
That's the search space.
Yeah.
Right. So that's more options than there are stars in the known universe.
Yeah. It's a really big number.
It's a really big number.
Understatement of our conversation. It's a really big number.
It's a really big number.
Yeah.
Right. So the first question is, okay, if your solution is within that space, how do you actually find it? So you have to have these extremely, efficient search algorithms. Now, the second thing is you have to be able to search the space with some provable bounds. So, what that means is, think about you go to the beach, right? And the beach has, trillion grains of sand.
Yep.
Right. And you could say, hey, I got this, cup. I'm going to just sample the beach in multiple spots. I'm going to say I searched the beach.
Yeah.
And, that's what a lot of technologies have done in the past. And they're like, oh, we searched this massive chemical space. And it's like, no, you didn't. You sampled the space.
Yes.
Right. So how do you actually provably go through every option, but not one by one, right? Because one by one, think about it. If there's 100 trillion options and it takes you, a second, it's going to take you 100 trillion seconds. That's, that's several billions of years, right? So that's not going to go very well.
The sense of scale is really hard for us as humans to really wrap our mind around, right?
But then, so that's problem number one. You still have a bigger problem. The bigger problem is, how do you know it's the right answer? So even if you found it, how do you say, hey, this grain of sand, this molecule, this is the right one?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's where, for us, what we've done is, instead of starting from data of what humans have generated and going in, and I think when you do that, you bring all the biases.
Yep.
And, in our opinion, these biases have the problem of, they created this undruggable problem in the first place, right? This bias did not allow us to get to the druggable space. We start from quantum simulations.
Okay.
So we start asking the question of, we know physics to a pretty good degree.
Yeah.
Right? We haven't solved all physics, but we can build some pretty cool things.
There's some weird stuff in outer space. We're still like scratching our heads about dark matter and things like that. But we understand how cars accelerate and how tables work.
Well, and we understand quantum physics quite well, right? That's the technology that allows, your phones to work, these microphones.
True.
We understand, we understand it's weird, right? And I don't know if we truly understand, but
it makes your head hurt if you're classically trained.
But you can deal with it,
you can
right?
get there. Yeah.
So the question becomes, okay, so we can do those calculations. Now, if you try to do those calculations on a big system, you run into a problem where you would need a computer the size of a solar system to do it, right? So right now, even using, a lot of hardware, you can do anywhere from 30 to 100 atoms.
Okay.
But a protein ligand system with full salvation has thousands to tens of thousands of atoms.
Yeah.
So what we've spent an enormous amount of time doing is figuring out how to scale quantum simulations without introducing error.
Okay.
So we've taken this approach in two different ways. So one is a scaling of quantum calculations without losing error. And the second one is this hyper-efficient exploration of chemical space.
Okay.
And at 1063, we're combining both of these technologies and then focusing it on pursuit of these really kind of holy grail cancer targets.
Okay.
Where, it's, these are the targets that make a difference. So let me explain to you what do we mean by that. So one of the targets that we're pursuing is a target called MYC. So MYC is the second oldest oncogene ever discovered, right? So we've known about it since 78.
Okay.
So it's been quite a little bit. There's over, I think now, 22,000 publications linking MYC to cancer, and that data goes through all the way from cellular data to epidemiological human data. And there's no drug currently approved for MIC. And it's not for lack of trying.
Yeah. How many have failed?
Oh, publicly, hundreds.
Yeah, which
privately,
means
probably, tens of thousands.
Yeah.
So, how do you, but it is, we're interested in making a huge impact, right? We're interested in really having the courage to solve those biggest problems. We say, look, no patient should have to hear they're out of options. So when my mom, we went to doctors, every single doctor kind of looked at us and said, there's nothing we can do. Yeah. And for the patient and their family, that's literally the worst thing you can hear, right? Yeah. So, that's our objective as a company. So we don't shy away from really the hardest problems. And that's what we've been, focused on, hardest computational problems, hardest targets. And, we're probably crazy for doing so, but thankfully we found a great group of people, both in the company and as investors, who support our mission. Yeah, and we're, I think, making really exciting progress.
Thanks for tuning in to Life Science Solutions, presented by Kymanox and produced by Walk West. For more insights like this, subscribe and follow Life Science Solutions wherever you get your podcast. We'll see you next time as we continue exploring what it takes to bring life science innovation to life, because patients deserve better.